All right, then. So I got an absolute ton of stuff that I'm supposed to be doing, and you know what? I just can't be bothered. It's a Sunday, but you wouldn't know that because I forgot to put the little nudger up. So stop the clock. Okay, so the clock is in place, and let's see what we can do. Yes, I must admit that always used to annoy me terribly listening to that woman, and I stopped bothering with the channel perfect pairs or whatever it is because it's completely unreal. I mean, it's it's different than this thing because she plays badly most of the time. She makes a lot of boo boos. She splits into multiple hands, which I will never ever have anything to do with. There is no justification for betting more than one hand of blackjack. Honestly, trust me. I mean, card counters have told me, yeah, well, what you do, of course, is you break out into multiple hands for very little money in order to sort of churn the shoe up a little bit and try to get to a better place with it. And then when you start to see the trends going in your direction, then you drop back to a single bet and you bet three times as much. I think it's all nonsense. It really is. I mean, I think the thing to do is to just, keep your head down, bet one round, and off you go. Plus one. Plus one. 1, 2. Minimum. Double for the loss. 1, 2. Minimum. Plus one. 51. 2, 3. 5, 6. Long grass approaching. I'll try that one again. Sorry, pardon me. 11, 6, and we have to go to the banker. Oh, gold. So because of the tie, we can go 11, 12, which will have to make 11, 13 because of the bloody commission. So 11, 13 it is. Oh, sod you and your bloody ties. Okay. 24. 20. It's got to be 24. 26 because of the commission again, hasn't it? Not having a good time here. We're going to run away from this one in a minute. We've got 5 wins to 9 losses. So 24, 26, so that's 50, 55. Come on, banker. Damn it, these bloody ties, honestly. Yuck. All right. So we got out of trouble there. A little dramatic, that. I mean, too much. But this is what you have to do. And, I don't know what to say to people who say, well, nobody can bet like that. It's too much money. It's too difficult. It's too blah, 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 blah. It's like, I have a friend who has a back problem and it's getting worse and worse. And she's getting more and more bent forward and more incapable of moving around. And I've said to her, you need physical therapy. You need to exercise. You need to get your back muscles sorted out. And she said to me the last time, she said, no, I gave that up. It's too hard. And so she would rather be bent over, and eventually she's going to be like I don't know. It's hard to describe. She's going to be kind of like just the top half of her body will be horizontal, and she'll be staring at the pavement as she walks along. I mean, it's I don't believe I'm dead, but it's the same sort of attitude as people have when they say, "Oh, it's too hard." Good grief! We're still on banker, unfortunately. But no, it's the old story. I mean, if people don't want to help themselves, then what's the point of trying to help them? And I feel the same way about people out there who say, "Oh, well, I can't afford to do it that way, so I'll have to just do what I've always done." And of course, you just keep losing. And, incrementally over time, it's a bloody fortune. And yes, this will get into trouble once in a while, and you will have to dig deep. And the point is, you must have the money behind you. And just look at the damn dealer's tray in front of you and think about the amount of money that's in that alone. And you multiply that 100 times, 500 times across the casino floor, and you start thinking, hey, I'm up against the big boys. So going after Goliath with a pea shooter, not a good idea. Plop, plop, plop. Is that 3-5? It's looking that way. I'll take that. I wish it wouldn't do that. Problem being, sometimes I just don't notice, because I am definitely imperfect. Bugger, bugger, bugger. All right, I'll take it back. We're at 3-5 again. Third bet on the bank. I wish the bank had stopped saving us. I want to go back to player. Double for the tie. I think that's a that's a plus max. You can go as high as you like. I don't go more than 5. Repeat that one. Chase it. That's going to be 3-5 again then. Look at that. It keeps coming up. This is what 3-player is all about, of course. It's every bet has exactly the same negative expectation as the one that went before and the one that will come after. But the clumping of wins and losses is what makes pattern betting work. And it's what tells us that progressive betting is the only way you can beat these games, in spite of the lies that the computers. I'm having a hard time talking today. The casinos and their shills, their frontmen, their pets, their house trained, whatever they are. They keep attacking progressive betting because it is the only way that you can beat these bloody games. Simple as that. Yeah, 3 players plays an important role. Hopping plays an important role. Lots of things are important. They all combine to make a strategy that works really well. That's 4-5, and we're running away from the banker. Oops, no, we're not. Stuck with the buggers. I do not like betting banker. I may have mentioned that. Banker is actually taking care of me very well right now, so probably I should apologise. But I won't. Don't ever bet on the tie. If you get into a casino where you see the tie pays 10-1, go for it once in a blue moon. Just with very small money. Otherwise, don't touch it. It's 8-1 these days. It used to be 9-1. Used to be kind of routine. Now it's 8-1. And this is the way that the casinos. This is why I'm so against them, because they just keep tightening the screws. I mean, not only do they raise the price of visiting the casinos, staying at the hotels and eating there and all that sort of thing. When I read yesterday, what was it, $17 for a Bud Light? Ah, ah. And how many Bud Lights can you get for $17 if you go to Costco? Probably a box of 24 for maybe 25. So thieves. Was that a? I know. I've forgotten. 1-3. Uh-oh. I think I was supposed to go back to the min there, but I started prognosticating, pontificating, doing whatever it is I do. All right, back to the min. Stuck with the damn banker. Don't like it. I could switch if I wanted to, but if you're playing a strategy, stick with the damn thing. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, 5-3 coming to play up. 8-6. 8-10. Yeah, I've been playing Mo's thing where you don't wait for a win. I think he's probably nailed it there. The model doesn't wait, and the model is doing extremely well. It's coming up to 170,000 rounds now, and it's doing remarkably well. I think there's one bust in there for a large amount of money, so the win rate is 99.97%. If that arsehole at the casino match faker could match that, he'd have something to talk about, but he can't. Where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? Is that good? I think I did. I think that's good, right? All right, stay with player minimum. Yeah, it's the hypocrisy that I find tough to deal with. That's his shtick, and it's the same with Vegas Matt. It's this pretense that I'm betting with my money. It's real money. You can trust me. My gambling is as real as it gets. It's absolute bullshit. Absolute nonsense. Yes, it's real money, but it's guaranteed to be returned one way or another. He might win at the tables. He might win at slots. He will definitely win when he picks up his Google check. So, that's my problem with those win bags. I've lost myself here completely. I've only had one beer, honestly. We're at 13 minutes. We won 1, 2, 3, I guess. I should have gone down here, shouldn't I? All right, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 here now. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was lucky, wasn't it? Obviously, I knew what was coming. What a cheat. Double for the loss. Repeat. 51. 1, 2, 3. That's 5, 6, isn't it? That's not what I had in mind. I really don't want to go over to banker. Nearly at the end of this one, so 11, 6. Hey. 17.20 on the bank. Well, I think that works. We're at 17.20 got us out. We had 28 wins and 38 losses. I think at some point I should probably have run away. I don't think we were stretched, actually. I think we kept winning, so that's why I let that go by. But 28 wins for 12,935 and 38 losses for 9,375. And that's just a timely, a useful reminder that you have to win more when you win than you lose when you lose. And everybody who thinks that's bullshit has got their head up their fundament. All right, see what we got here. Okie dokie. I'll do the numbers and come back to you. There it is. All right then, folks. So what we have here is another flip, basically. We won 28 and we lost 38, which means that the house edge against us in that shoe was 10 over 66, which is a house advantage of 15%, 15%. We won 3,560 on action of 22,310, which is a hold or a win percentage of 16%. We held, out of all the action, we made a profit of 3,560. As far as the individual bets are concerned, a win of 12,935 across 28 bets is an average win of 462. We lost 9,375 in 38 losing bets, average loss 247, average win over average loss 187%. And I know there are people out there who will listen to that and look at that and say, that don't work. No, that don't work. That was just a fluke. And there's nothing I can do. Like I always say, folks, take it or leave it, believe it or not. But if you want to win on a regular basis against the games that you love, this is the way to do it. Up to you. All right. So, see you next time.
Wow. Well, I've said this before, but, after thousands of days, it's tough to think of new things to say, but that was kind of a fun way to lose $10,000. Entertainment, that's what gambling's for, entertainment. You're not gonna make a living gambling. My dad always said, you're never gonna get rich gambling. I wish he was alive so I could tell him he was wrong.
Okay then, so I've updated the front page, and here's where we're at. Currently, looking pretty good, and I'll switch over to starting a new shoe, and it's Sunday, and second shoe of the day. And let's see what we can do. I don't want that to stay up there, because if I put it through the edit, I might want to put some smart remarks up there, and that'll be in the way. That would be a +1. Plus another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Never get too excited, because you've got to pay for these eventually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try again. Chase it. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 8. Long grass. 15, 8 over to the bank. Damn it. 15, 16 is no good. So I think it better be 3, 4. There we go. That was a nice little boost. This is really what the roundup thing is all about. It doesn't change anything, but you have to do it rationally and logically and consistently. And so we just switched up from hundreds to 500s, and that obviously made us a bit of A bit of dosh there. Back to the min. Stuck with the bank. Oh, whoa. One, two, three. Still on the bank. That's one. There's another one. 1, 2. Try again. 3, 5 last on the bank. Oh no, it's not. Damn it. Minimum. I could switch over, but the thing is, I've got a strategy going here, so might as well stay with it as long as it's not really hurting me, and it definitely is not hurting me. I tell you. 1, 2, 3. 5, 3 coming to player. 8, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6. Bugger, back to the damn banker. Oh no, I'm going to go 11, 12 this time because I'm only on the third loss. 11, 12. Bugger. All right, so that worked out. You do have wiggle room with this thing, but I mean, you've got to try and, if it gets you into trouble when you wiggle, then just wiggle back to doing what you're told, double for the loss. Repeat. Minimum. This one. Plus another one. Plus max. Repeat it. Chase it. There it is. Minimum. Double. 1, 2. That's good. So we're at 19 to 18. We've got a shoe balance of nearly 1800. Just draw your own conclusions. A little plus run here. And that came to an end very quickly. 1, 2. There we go. That was double for the tie, and this is plus 1. There's another one. Oops, that's one too many, but never mind. All right, we'll stay with that. We'll chase it. Try again. That's 3, 4. 7, 8. Yeah, these things can go tits up very quickly. 7, 8. 15, 8 over to the banker. All right, 15, 17. No, damn it. I'm going to go back to that 3, 4. There we go. That was helpful. Staying on the bank, damn it. Oh, fiddle. Five, 3, over to player. 8, 6. 2, 3. Yeah, there's just so many people out there who just won't believe any of this. They just can't believe it. They just ugh. I think it's kind of quaint, really. I mean, I talk about casino matchmaking quite a lot, and he does these videos which are very artfully put together, and he's got this sort of like weird North Country English accent. Affable guy, definitely working still for casinos, no doubt about it. And if he considers that libelous, then that'll tell you something about the odour in which surrounds casinos in the UK, not in the United States, where they are revered as if they are mainstays of the economy. God damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it again. And again. And again. Back to the min. And we did well there. Back to the minimum. Double for the loss. 1, 2. There it is. That might even be it. Yeah, it is. Look at that. And obviously, since I knew that, then I must be cheating, right? What have we got? We've got 36 wins, 30 losses, 36 wins, 9,700, 30 losses, 6,200. I think perhaps we may have achieved the objective of winning more when we win than we lose when we lose. And I just have to keep hammering away at that because, every time I talk to anybody about it, I mean, unless they're people that I've been working with for a while and who know me and, follow all the stuff that I do, all the demos and so on, I talk to somebody new about that and they say, what? But with an American accent. It's just, it's bizarre. Anyway, we'll go and have a look, see how we did that time. And I will go and talk to my personal assistant and get the numbers for you. Okay, then, the numbers this time. We won 9,656 in 36 bets, average win 268. We lost 6,175 in 30 bets, average loss 206. That's an average win over average loss of 130. A little on the low side, but perfectly good. And of course, we won 6 more bets than we lost, so that makes a bit of a difference. The win was 3,481. Total action was 15,831. That gave us a player edge in terms of what we held, how much profit we made from the total action, profit of 22% on action. We won 36, lost 30, so that means we had a player edge of 6 over 66, which is 9%. So we took the player edge from 9% to 22%, and of course we did that by winning more when we won than we lost when we lost. I try to mention that every so often. Sometimes I forget, but I try to mention it from time to time. Oh, and the betting time for 3,481 was about 8 minutes. So I thought it was good. Bit slow for Dana White and Co, but I like it. I don't think it's going to come as a major surprise to anybody that I'm about to kick off again at the start of a new working week. Today, Monday, 18th of August. Oh my God, it's past my coffee time. All right, well, I can fix that in a minute. Yeah, I'm going to kick off again. And as always, I have to say to you, I have no idea what's coming. I mean, the jokers out there who think that somehow I can manipulate all these sims according to my devious plan to pull the wool over everybody's eye. I mean, whatever. Anyway, there we go. I'm always nervous when I start these things because I just don't know. +1, 51, 2, 3. Leave it alone. Alrighty, back to the min. Double for the loss. 1, 2. Good enough. Back to the min. Double for the loss. Repeat. 51. Repeat. 1, 2. 3, 4. Ugh! Long grass. And look at this, we're slipping behind rapidly here. 7, 8. I think we might be running away, gagging, skipping, jumping. Oh, come on. Well, maybe not. All right, back to the minimum. +1. 51. Repeat it. Sorry. It's a lack of coffee causing me a major problem. +1. Yeah, quite seriously, I think I am going to hit the pause button in a minute. And why did I start this before getting a cup of coffee? Dumb, huh? 51. 2, 3. Yeah, we don't respond to a tie unless the bet is 100 or less, in which case we double it, or we've got a mid-recovery situation, let's say 7, 5, and we get a tie, we can go to 7, 8 then to turn a mid-recovery, a routine mid-recovery bet into a turnaround bet. I don't even remember what I had out there. Oh, there it is, of course. Jeez, honestly, no, definitely I need a coffee. Okay. Back to the minimum, and I'm going to hit the pause. All right. So I'm back. A pint of excellent coffee and a breakfast of salmon and scrambled eggs and grilled tomato and potato. They're sort of like, I like to do these round chips simply because you can sort of thin slice an average sized potato and spray it with oil and sprinkle a little salt on it to help it crisp up. But anyway, that has nothing to do with the job at hand here. So let's get back to that. And interesting bit of news from the internet today is that at Vegas Matt, my bête noire in the world of YouTube gambling, has been overtaken, just once probably, by, what the hell is her name? Lady something or other. Slot lady. Oh, I can't remember. But yeah, she's interesting. She's got lots of personality. She doesn't play table games. Her husband does, and they have this sort of cutesy poo thing going on where she's franny cakes and he's lovey dovey, and it sort of makes you want to barf a lot of the time. But they're having fun and people love them. And what can I say? 2-3, 1-2-3. There we go. In the bag, back to the minimum. But it's nice to see Vegas Matt's supremacy being threatened. I don't suppose he gives a shit. He's running at about 3.5 to 4 million a year from Google alone. So I don't think we need shed any tears for him and his merry men. Okay, another plus. Uh-oh, Alexa, stop. 3-4 we're at now. Uh-oh. All right, 3-5. Sometimes you make a bit of a mistake and sometimes it'll help you and sometimes it won't. That's how it goes. And then some prat is going to say, yeah, he bet an extra 100 because he knew what was coming. You know, it's like years ago when some idiot said to me, well, in fact, several idiots said to me, yeah, we know what you're getting at. You have to bet more when you know you're going to win and less when you know you're going to lose. You know, that was their response to me saying, you have to win more when you win than you lose when you lose. And the idiots out there, well, they're not thinkers, any of them. So that's all right, off we go. And then that's a repeat. And that's a 51. That's a 2-3. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6. Okay, long grass. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? 11-6 over to the bank. Okay, it's got to be 5-7 now because of the commish. Bugger. Let's call it 2-3 in 500s. We've jumped up a thingamajigamy. There we go. Okay, now we're stuck with the bank. It's important to be consistent with this strategy. You know, I mean, as consistent as you can be, because the more you start sort of thinking and you know, responding emotionally to things, the more danger you're in of falling back into the mess that all of these guys, you know, these professional losers on YouTube, the same kind of trap that they're in, which is that they're zigging when the game zags, and they're sort of like they're betting stupidly, they're betting randomly, recklessly, suicidally, etc., etc. And the more that you allow kind of human decision making to impinge on the action, the more likely it is that the house will make their huge amount of money, which is vastly more than the sort of like less than 1% that they talk about being the house edge for baccarat, or less than 1.4%, which is what it is for reckoned to be for baccarat and so on. I mean, those numbers they're bullshit. They are right in the sense that, technically speaking, over thousands upon thousands of outcomes, if you only look at the flat results, you will see a house advantage which more or less falls in line with those numbers. But as soon as you introduce the human element, the rise and fall in betting, the tight limits, the limited bankroll, and so on, it just changes the whole picture. We're actually on banker, so that's more. All right, and then that's a repeat. And so now we're back to the min. +1. +1. 1, 2. 3, 5, and we'll be running away from the banker if necessary. Excuse me, 8-5 on the player. Beg your pardon. Oh, duh. 8, 5, 3, 2 now. We are on the player. We're into the 500s again. Now it's 3-4. That's the situation I was talking about before, where you don't respond to a tie if the bet's over 100, unless you can turn a standard on the way to recovery bet, which was the 3-2, into a potential turnaround bet, which is 3-4. But of course, you must always remember every bet is more likely to lose than to win. Whatever the house advantage might be, that's what impinges, that's what provides negative expectation for every single bet. And all this bollocks about, well, it's been 3 bankers in a row, so it's got to be a player, and you know, all of that sort of stuff. It's nonsense. And they have those screens up now, which they didn't have in my day in Nevada. They were just starting to do it. They called them marquees back then, I think. They put those big screens up that show all the action. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's BS. Anyway, we need a player. Oh, look at that. Fluke, obviously. I knew what was coming, obviously. Oy, oy, oy. Okay. And this time we double for the tie. And now we +1. I don't think plus is a verb, but you know what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 1, 2. Good enough. Back to the min. Pause for coffee break. Okay, the clock's running again. Ba-ba-ba-doodle. Bubble, bubble, bum, bum, bum. Where the hell am I? Double on the player. Excuse me. 51. Repeat. Minimum. Yeah, I don't know how anybody can look at these demo after demo after demo after demo after demo. You get the picture. With wins, always around the same level, around 2,500 to 3,000 a shoe, and just say, "Oh no, that doesn't work. That's no good. That's not the way to do it." I mean, it's a bit odd, I think. But you know, casino brainwashing is incredibly well funded, with lots of energy behind it. So, and this is a big part of what these the Vegas Prats, the Vegas Matt and his crew, and all the rest of them, the Bobby Rivas's and so on, they're all in the same game to teach us to believe that it's fun and games to lose. It's lovely. It's really exciting. And in this video, I will be dropping in, if I haven't already, I'll be dropping in the latest Rube philosophy from Vegas Matt, in which he basically raises his middle finger at his dad, who told him that you'll never make money gambling, and him sort of saying, yeah, well, I'm making money now, aren't I? And of course he is, but he's not making it at gambling. He's making it from gambling. And there is a difference, let's face it. Oh dear, 1, 2. And that's going to be the end, isn't it? Okay, 2,981. 1, 2. What I'll do is I'll try and remember the 1, 2 and start the next one with that, because I think this is a pretty reasonable shoe balance, given that we've only had 2 more wins than our losses, and our 33 wins 8,000 and our 31 losses 5,000. And once again, I know I'm a crack record. There's nothing I can do about that. It's just that I'm constantly demonstrating that you must win more when you win than you lose when you lose. Because otherwise you're going to fall foul of the fact that you either win and lose the same number, roughly, or you lose more bets than you win. And over time, you will lose more bets than you win. There's just no doubt about it. So, what the heck. I've got to save the shoe. Mustn't forget that. And have a look at the results. And pull this up. Excuse me, all this time the clock has been in the wrong place, but what the heck? I can adapt. And I'll be back with the numbers in just a moment. All right then, for you thinkers out there, you numbers nuts, we won 7,956 across 33 bets, giving us an average win of 241. We lost 4,975, 31 losing bets, average loss 160, average win over average loss 151%. Let's see, what else did we have? We had 33 wins and 31 losses, which gave us a player edge of 2 over 64. I don't bother with ties, which would reduce this number, but that's okay. So we had a player edge of 3%. Our win of 2,981 over total action of 12,931 boosted that plus 3% in the player's favor, my favor, to 23%, a 23% hold of total action. Now, if that doesn't tell you what I've been trying to tell you for the longest time, then you're probably beyond help. But I just keep plugging away because that's my job. And I'll see you next time. Okay, so this is just me trying to dot all the I's and cross all the T's, blah, blah. Just a recap on the session that just ended. And if you got all the way through it, there's definitely a gold medal in store for you. I'll put a link in the description when I can actually get together enough profit to be handing out gold medals. It might be a little bit, but anyway, shoe 1790, actual result 16%. Expected result was a loss of 13.3% of our action. Oh dear, we failed. Next lot, shoe 1791, actual result was worth 22% of our action. We should only have hung on to 8% of our action, according to the geniuses who keep spouting utter crap on the YouTube channels and elsewhere across the internet. They, I assume, must all be in the employment of the casino business, because if that's not the case, then they are simply terminally dim-witted. Shoe 1792, the third shoe in today's demo session, 2.8% player advantage overall. We turned that into 23.1%, which I think was pretty darn good. And then when we look at all three combined, we had 93 bankers, 103 players. We had 97 wins over 99 losses, which is it's a house advantage somewhere in the neighborhood of what we're told to expect, which is somewhere around 1.2 to 1.3% for the house. So this has been a pretty typical set of three shoes, based upon the 0.9% negative expectation for us. We should have lost 462, but thanks to pattern betting, we displayed extremely bad manners and won a total of $10,022, which represented 19.6% of our total action. We should have lost a little less than 1% of our total action. But you know what? We're not in the loss business. And I think that's, something that I don't stress often enough. This is a business proposition. We are looking at a market which can be exploited if we know how to do it, and if we have the patience and the sobriety and the commitment, and perhaps as important as anything else, well, definitely as important as anything else, the resources to get the job done. And you have to think of it in business terms, and you have to think about, for instance, how much you'd have to put out if you decided that you wanted to get into the McDonald's business. You'd have to put out probably, $3 or $4 million to get a franchise built. And then you'd look at a return of probably 20% a year. So you would recover your investment at the end of about 5 years. In the meantime, of course, you'd be building up your cash flow. You'd be employing a lot of people in their teen years and teaching them bad dietary habits. And you would be making an awful lot of customers very happy and very fat and blah, blah, blah. But it's a business proposition. You have to put out money to bring in money. That's the rule of the universe that applies to gambling as much as it does to anything else. I don't like to think of it as gambling. I prefer to think of it as playing. And I suppose in that sense, I'm in the euphemism business in the same way that the Nevada regulators call it gaming instead of gambling, which is really silly. But it's something which they take terribly seriously, and they think it's perfectly okay. Gaming, of course, has come to mean something completely different to the rest of the world. It involves playing games with things that I must admit look absolutely fascinating and which I'm never going to touch because I would probably get hooked. My grandkids used to every so often say to me, "Carl, Grandpa, Carl, play with us." And I'd say, "Oh, God, all right." And then I'd get mocked by the kids for sort of like, instead of jumping over a fence, I'd walk into a wall and all that sort of thing. But I mean, to them, operating these joysticks and buttons and roly-poly thingies and all the rest of it was part of their life. They spend most of their daytime on those, or their waking hours on those bloody things. And it's something that I would not have allowed my kids growing up. I was a horrible parent. I wouldn't allow them skateboards. I wouldn't allow them to play American football. My belief was always, you're in the business, you're in the parenting business to protect your children. And I'm not about to let them do anything stupid that's going to give them brain damage later in life. I had the same problem with soccer. I would not let my kids head the ball. I would yell at them if they did it on the field. Couldn't do the same with my grandkids because you have a different thing going there. You have to step aside and let the parents take over. Heading the ball at soccer is stupid. Playing American football is stupid. It's dangerous. Why bother? Why not take up, I don't know, jumping off cliffs or something like that? I mean, it's got to be as much fun, huh? Anyway, enough of that. I'm just wrapping up here. Shoe 1790, odds were against us. We kicked ass. Shoe 1791, odds were with us. We kicked ass a lot more than we were supposed to. Same story with shoe 1792, and then we go all the way through the three shoes, and we're looking at a slight negative expectation, which we turn from a negative expectation into a positive one of nearly 20%. So what else could I tell you? I just keep on doing these things, and I'm getting an audience of a dozen or two. I'm not breaking through, but on the other hand, I'm not promoting the channel. I'm not giving Google extra money to present it to a wider audience, and I'm not getting into all of the things that the professional losers on YouTube get into, which is, I don't know, whatever the hell they do. They've got all these different social media channels which they use to promote what they're doing, and it works very well for them. I'm sort of like inclined to just think, I'll keep doing what I can to get the word out. I keep saying to people, there are no guarantees. Once in a while, you will have to dig very, very deep. Alexa, shut up.
This is a reminder.
Alexa, be quiet. She doesn't pay any attention to me these days. And of course, every time I do that, every time I yell at her, I think of my youngest boy telling me, Alexa, stop. Telling me that clearly, because of the way that I talk to Alexa, I have anger management problems, which I don't know. My poor boy, I think he's lost his bloody mind. But there you go. That's another story. So that's it. That's all I can do, and I'll try to summarize a bit more extensively in future sessions, because I know there will be future sessions, and I can also promise you that some of them are going to be seriously shitty. I won't be having good news like this to offer every time. I'll do blocks of 3. If it turns out that that they're really awful, then I will do more shoes, until I get a turnaround. But it isn't going to look as lovely as this every time. That's just not possible. But this illustrates what I've been saying all along, which is, if you have a strategy that you believe in, and if you are capable of sticking with it, and if you have big bucks behind you, you can turn these games into a business opportunity. If you don't have any of those things, they will take your money away from you. It's as simple as that. So, end of story. Next time.